Hi, hello everyone. Today I'm here with two very special guests. We have two authors with us today, John and Nick Christophers. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and get the show started. First up, John.
Hey, I'm John Alite.
Alite.
I'm an ex-enforcer for the Gambino family. I was involved with the Mafia since I'm about 17 years old. I've been in and out of prison for almost 2 decades, and got involved in doing some books and shows and magazines of not just this country, around the world, different countries. And really my goal is to tell kids to stay off the street and go on the right path. And it's not all what you think it's cracked up to be.
Let's talk about the book.
Yeah, here's the cover.
It's Prison Rules, and it discusses exactly why I wanted to do the show with you guys, because it's an urban show, and I'm trying to reach kids from the street that, like myself, I grew up on Jamaica Avenue and went to school in East New York, Brooklyn, and I came from a family of a impoverished family. I'm Albanian origin, and we come from a lot of suppression. And guys like myself and the kids that I can relate to and they can relate to me are guys that are reaching out trying to make money, and we're trying to take the best route that we believe we think is the best route, and it's actually the worst route. And you know, sometimes we think we don't have as much of a chance as some of these kids that have chocolate in their hand and grew up spoiled. And so I'm trying to reach some of these kids so they don't follow that direction that I did, and learn from my heartaches and go in the right path.
Let's go back to Gotti. You said you made some trouble. Now, this is your book, correct, John?
This is my first book with George Anastasia. It was a bestseller.
Okay.
And this book, what it does is depicts what Gotti himself is, and it talks about how I did all the work, I did all the shooting, I did all the stabbing, I did all the jail time, and how Gotti hid, and the family, the Gotti family, used me as their muscle. And these guys don't even know what a gun is. They never used one, they never seen one, but it depicted it as gangsters. And the son, Gotti Jr., became an informant. They say back in '92, I don't have proof of that, that's one of the bosses of the Lucchese family accuses him of being a rat back then and working with the government.
I remember the story, it was huge.
It was huge. And about 2004, he hit the headlines of the Daily News and the Post. And since then, he's been trying to shut me down, and he's blocking my Wikipedia and putting false information up on my Wiki and my Google and things like that. And he's trying to shut me down to expose the truth that this man's been cooperating. And he's not a gangster. He was chased out of the mob. And I'm trying to get these kids to understand this is what this life's about, the false belief of gangsters. You hear that name.
Trying to break away some of the illusion of it all.
Yeah, and the truth of, when guys like me and they're getting these young kids to do what I did, shoot and kill people and hurt people and stab people and go to jail for them, and there's no loyalty back. And meanwhile, these guys are working with the police on the side and giving us up, and that's not okay. And I'm just hoping to save some of these kids' lives, like John Tolliver, that's going on the right path, and I want kids to follow that kind of stuff, go on the right path.
Okay, so what do you want people to know about Prison Rules?
Well, you try to give them a step-by-step. I've been in dozens of prisons. I've been in Brazil penitentiaries, out of the country for 2.5 years. In the United States, I've been in, I don't know, well over 30 prisons. Between all the states, I've been locked up in a couple states here in the States, Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, California, Florida. So I know the gamut of prisons, I know the system, and I'm trying to tell kids this is not about life. Their mothers, single family, not, what single moms or parents, no parents, it doesn't matter. You deserve better for yourself, love yourself, and, expect that you don't need to be a criminal. You don't got to listen to that hype. And you don't have to be a shooter for somebody. Go to school and do it the right way. If you don't want to go to school, it's not for you, go to work. You got to take some of these kids that maybe you don't have any talent. Drive a truck. It's okay to go to work and drive a truck. It's okay to go to McDonald's, because they don't understand the system because they're young still. But when you get into the prison system, they don't let you sleep all day. It's not like the old days. You're cleaning floors, you're working in the bathroom, you're working in the kitchen, you're doing something. Now, why would you clean floors in a jail when you're out in the street? You didn't want to clean floors. So don't put yourself in that position.
Absolutely, yeah.
And with positive mentors, and there's plenty out there. There's tons of guys like myself. There's ball players all over that, guys in the music industry that kids can relate to and say, hey, let me follow this guy. Let me get involved in their program. Let me get involved in some programs. It's not corny. I says, because kids think it's corny, but when you're laying there and you watch your friends getting killed and you watch guys doing life, and when I was a young kid, there was an older black gentleman in jail that tried to pull me up as a kid and tell me don't do this. And this was a guy that was doing 35 years at the time, 36 years, something like that. And I was too young and naive and stupid to listen to him, and I end up back and forth in jail. I wish I could see that man again.
Right.
Because he took the time
Right.
to say to me, John, this is not the life, man. Trust me. And this was a gangster. This was a street guy. And he told me, gangsters, this ain't no gangster to live in here.
Let's talk about something that's a little bit more up to date that some of the young people might be able to relate to. So you know the background information, the story, the details about Tekashi 6ix9ine, the rapper that just got sentenced.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? And what do you think a young person in his position could have done or should have done to avoid all that? Or once he was in the life, that was it?
You know, well, I can use guys and examples that were in the life that made it out. Guys like Tupac, who was a very, very intelligent guy. He was an actor. He was a great rapper. He was a poet. You know, Biggie. I mean, these guys are guys that came from the hood, changed their lives, they got out. And I think once they're in those positions, these two guys, whether enemies, friends, I mean, you know, they say, you know, you hear it all the time, and it's not a cliche, Black Lives Matter. It does matter. And, you know, when someone's kicking some other bullshit about, I don't know if I could curse on the show.
Yes, you can.
F this nigga, F
Freedom
that.
of speech here.
Okay, you know, no, it ain't. And it's if you met that man in a different circumstance, that could have been your best friend.
Right.
That doesn't mean let's not take each other's lives. Let's give to those younger kids, because there's so many kids that can relate to guys like Cool J or whoever's out there, Drake, and you know, or ball players like Kobe, and a lot of these guys do the right thing, and they're trying to mentor these kids and tell them, listen, if you can't play basketball, you don't have that talent. If you can't dance, if you can't rap, if you be a truck driver, do something, but don't do what I did.
Don't underestimate the value of just a what they used to say, a good day's hard work.
Yeah,
is valuable in itself, because you live in a society now where everyone wants to make money an easy way or a quick way. And we've been taught, some of us, that, you know, getting up to go to work to a 9 to 5 is kind of lame, but not if it's something that you're good at and you like doing it.
Well, it's not lame when you're going at the end of the day at 5 o'clock and you want to go home and chill with your girl in bed, or you want to get a pizza, or you want to eat ice cream, or you want to go to a movie, because those dudes in jail, they're laying in a cell. And they ain't going out nowhere. They're not touching women. They're not seeing their kids. This is the part people don't see. They don't see their mama suffering somewhere.
Absolutely.
And, you know, those are the things that has nothing to do with physical pain. I tell everybody, we can all take physical pain.
Right.
It's the emotional pain and those tears that come down your eyes, because when someone says they ain't crying, they're crying, whether they're crying emotionally with tears or they're crying inside their heart.
Right.
But, you know, detachment from the real world, we're not dogs. We don't belong in cages. And, you know, we deserve life. And I think the best thing to say is, hey, and you see it on TV a lot, but there's not enough following it. Our lives matter.
Exactly.
I matter.
Exactly.
And it's easy for me to go retaliate the way I used to do, violently. And, you know, that was very natural to me. And when guys are keyboarding me on a keyboard gangsters, never seen a gun, never seen a box of bullets, never seen a jail cell.
The internet gangsters.
You know,
like, I don't really want to, you know, be out here in these streets doing what I'm doing, but I can't be broke. You know, I'm not that good in school. Like you said, college is not for me. You know, what should I do? Should I be a mechanic, a plumber? You know.
Well, I got involved with boxing. I got a fighter. Prince Badi is a good friend of mine. He's from Camden.
Okay.
He also was in jail. He just did a show with me out in Jersey. We're doing something next week with Netflix, and you know, we talk about mentoring kids that are angry. Get in the ring, do a positive thing, and fight, and do something like a gentleman. Become another George Foreman. Become another Ali. Become a voice.
Where is the gym located?
Camden, New Jersey.
Camden, New Jersey.
715 Florence Street, and Denny runs the gym. Denny Brown, and we're friends for years, for 25 years. And so we're mentoring fighters and guys from the street, and we're influencing them as young kids.
That's great, wonderful.
I got another kid, Giulio Vernosi. I just went to London and watched him fight. He's Albanian also. He's 15-0. And I've got another kid from Sam Greenfield from London that contacted me after one of his buddies got killed at 15. And I helped him, and actually just won the title, and he turned pro. Okay. So, you know, some positive things for these kids to say, hey, don't take a life.
Absolutely.
Listen, the situation kids don't know, but guys in jail know. after 6 months, 8 months, whether you're a guy or a girl, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend leaves you. The kids move on because you got long sentences. You're jailed. You might be 15 hours away. You might be in another state. So those relationships aren't there. So some of the things they're gonna get involved in when they get involved in the system.
You offer some form of counseling.
Well, advice and able to talk to me and tell them exactly what's going to happen with their family and things like, if they need an attorney, and I could tell them, I could point them in the right direction for a drug attorney for.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely great. So, yeah.
I mean, my idea is, and I discussed this with Nick over the years. I used to take lives. I mean, they accused me of using a gun 40 times. So I'm not a guy that's not active with a gun. And now I'm trying to save some lives. And it's important for me to give back and try to save some of these kids. Yeah, I had a bad life. I mean, it's nothing to be proud of. And, and now I am proud of what some of the stuff I'm doing. If I could save one kid's life and that kid goes home to his mom, I mean, it's something.
And John, I know that you can't talk too much in detail about it. Yeah, but you're going to be working on a project for Netflix coming up.
Yeah, I'll start filming this week coming up.
What can you say about it?
I can say that it's going to involve some boxing. Prince Badi is going to be involved with me. Denny Brown, his gym.
Okay.
Florence Street. Maybe we're going to get involved with some music. And I also mentor 2 kids, actually. Did a song with me and about me, actually, in Europe. And it's Rolla, 2 brothers, Hitman and Rolla, they're called. They're 2 college guys.
Is that going to be on the soundtrack?
I was going to give you the soundtrack if you guys want it, and and do something with this segment. And they're very talented.
We'll make it radio friendly version of it.
They're real talented guys. I originally didn't want to do it unless it was a positive rap song, which it is. The ending will change it.
So y'all are serious about that. It's not. You're serious about that. It's got to be positive.
Well, I got involved with Restart program. I got involved with the another program out in PA called the Switch program. I got involved with the Biggie Brother program for a kid that was mentoring. So Salente Family Foundation, I got involved with anti-bullying. So yeah, I'm very active and very serious about helping kids. Listen, adults are adults. Absolutely. I'm not trying to change their lives, whatever they're doing. But kids, they got a chance to have a good life, and let's help them do that.
Yeah, they still have the opportunity to be molded. They're not dead set in their ways yet. And if we can help them out in the right direction, why not? Absolutely. Sounds great.
Well, I got 2 more books come out after that Darkest Hour, too. I got Darkest Hour.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Darkest Hour here. Hold that up.
That's Susan Pike, and that's just
actually the latest one.
This is the latest. This is just part 1,
this is
introduction.
The first one. That's the latest.
Scotty's Rules. That's George Anastasia. This one's going to have 2 more parts. This is just an introduction in my younger years, till I'm about 17. Where now I take off into the life of crime.
And you grew up in East New York.
East New York, Woodhaven. Went to school, Frank K. Lane High School in Brooklyn, and I grew up
by the J train.
Yeah, by the J train. And we used to walk everywhere and get on that J train. So you know what? Life's a long journey, and I started off good. I went off the track, and I'm hoping now I can help kids never to go off the track. And really, that's the important thing is for parents, for everybody to reach out and try to help these kids to go in the right way. I mean, it's very easy to go the wrong way. You make one mistake, your life's done.
Talk about it. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think any voice that lends to guiding, uplifting, and inspiring someone to live their best life should absolutely be recognized and applauded. So kudos to both of you, John and Nick. Thank you so much for coming. We need more guys like you who are not afraid to say that's not corny. What is corny is doing what, didn't take any thought or didn't any courage. It's easy to go the wrong way and let someone else follow you and follow someone else. It's more courage to be different, have your own mind, and not get sucked into peer pressure and join a gang.
Well, I want to see any gangster, and I'm talking about anybody, adult gangster that's involved in the street right now that says when their kids out there, they want their kid to hand them a gun or a bag of drugs. There's nobody that'll sit here, any gangster will sit here and tell you, I'm giving my kid drugs or a gun. So that's the message. The same message they give for their children, we should give to everybody's children, and not try to manipulate other kids. Because in my life, I could manipulate kids all over to be killers, or I can manipulate them and treat them the right way and not manipulate them, into living a good life and respecting themselves.
Absolutely.
And enjoying life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's about the manipulation. Yeah.
You know, when guys are on the street, they like to manipulate young guys.
Yeah.
I used to tell guys on the street, when I send young kids, you better worry about them. They're not coming here to talk. They're coming here to kill and hurt.
Right.
You know, the older guys, they're laid back now. You know, those years with the younger days when kids are young, they want to prove themselves and they're ready to fight. So you know, that's the
That's
years.
why they're so easy to manipulate. They're more impressionable.
Yeah, they want to show they're tough.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they want to show their egos. They have egos. They, you know, it's hard to stop them.
Yeah.
So it's easy to play their ego.
Yeah.
And so they're very impressionable. That's it.
And with that being said, you know, again, we've got to be careful about life decisions and things appearing a certain way and it's really not that way, and finding out when it's too late. So go and support the book Prison Rules. Again, thank you, Nick and John, for being with us today.
Okay.
Join us again next time. I'm Patra. See you again soon.
Nuk modhesh me mu, bitch, ti, mos u bo full. Korsia është precis, jetë të shpejt, shqipe roots. Not again.